Greetings, community. It's Kevin of Entropy and Comics. I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day 2023. This is going to be an extensive list. Now, I have a feeling for me personally that this list is not going to really diminish that much in the next foreseen months. With the whole symbiote thing coming out, oh my god, I'm just drooling over all these Marvel things coming. Anyways, not to get into that right now because I will be getting into that then. So not to be time traveling too much, let's go ahead and get into this extensive list that I have for you right now. Started off with Vault. Vault is bringing us Barbaric, Hell to Pay issue number 2. Barbaric is such an awesome series. I really dig this thing. And as far as barbarian stories go, you're not going to find anything too much more brutal than this story in itself. This is one of the most brutal, one of the most, I guess, best representing a barbarian story out there, in my opinion. There's nothing any better than Barbaric. Hey, you don't believe me? Check it out. You know what's kind of tripping me out, and I have to start, is that Agu beat out Las Cruces. Just saying. Moving out from Bob, we're going to cruise over to Blaze. Blaze brings us Boogeyman, issue number 6. I was really hoping this was going to be an ongoing series. At this point, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. So I'm going to keep picking this shit up. This is a freaking. What I really love about this series is as it's being one of the best series that I'm reading as um, the consistency level is concerned. I'm digging it. There's not much more out there that I'm really can say that it's actually encompassing the full realm of what everyone's hoping a good story would tell. You know, at times you're like scared out of your wits. There's times where you're like, hey, kill those motherfuckers. It's tugging at all kinds of emotions. The art's there. The story is so solid. And the fact that they have all this contrast and all these life lessons going on in this, I'm going to keep picking it up. So that's why Boogeyman issue number 6 is really high on this list. Moving out from Blaze, we're going to go over to Dynamite. We're going to talk to Dynamite about Darkwing Duck, issue number 2. I've been digging all this stuff, how they've been kind of getting back to my childhood. Well, it's a little late in the childhood, but see, I had a half brother that was born 16 years apart from me. So when all this stuff was dropping, Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, um, what was that other one that just came out? I don't know. If you can remember, help me out. I've been digging it. The reason why is, like I said, it's been tugging at all these heartstrings. It's been just really bringing out all the nostalgia. And being that I'd be able to go ahead and purchase these things and it invokes all that, that's probably one of the main reasons why I've been buying it. That being stated, I've been digging the series. That's why over at Dynamite, Darkwing Duck issue number 2 is really high on that list. Moving out from there, we're going to still stick with Dynamite. We're going to talk about, well, Draculina. Draculina's back. And what I mean, that's right, Scar. That's the next one's going to be dropping. Yup. You demand to have. So, Draculina, the first launch of the first volume, in my opinion, initially was really kind of convoluted, but I understand what they were doing. They were really trying to cram a lot of information at you and then use all that information to as a launch pad to further tell another story. This is that story. What I mean by that is Draculina, Blood Simple, issue number 1 is a whole new volume. I've been digging Draculina. Um, Vampirilla's cool. Don't get me wrong. I just, I don't know. Is a hotter chick. I, it has nothing to do with that. I just been digging the story, and this was my introduction to that realm. So maybe down the road I'll end up cruising over to, you know, I don't know, cheat on Draculino a little bit over with. I don't know. We'll cross that Vampirilla bridge when we get to it. Moving on for Draculino, we're going to cruise over to Gargoyles issue number 3, and this is what I was talking about the whole nostalgia thing. Gargoyles is not only been, yes, telling that story that I remember as a youth, but what also it's been doing is it's been allowing me to, I guess, appreciate another format. And what I mean by that is if you look at the way Gargoyles is done, it's almost a storyboard depiction as opposed to just a standard comic book that can be conceived as such, but it's, in my opinion, it really comes across storyboard. I dig it. It just goes to show you that Gargoyles needs to be a cartoon again. Just saying. All right, cruising out from Dynamite. I know I've been hanging out a long time there because fuck, I dig Dynamite now. We're gonna cruise over to Marvel. Marvel, you're killing me. You guys got a list. Like I said, this is gonna be ongoing for a while. We're first gonna talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20. This ongoing series has been one of my favorites. I mean, really, it's killing the last series that I read before, and I'm digging it. I'm not gonna stop reading it now, especially as it goes into the symbiote area. When we start getting into this whole symbiote summer thing, just wait. But as it's ramping up and it's going through all that and the development, I'm digging this story. So that's why Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20 is pretty high on my list. Cruising from Spider-Man, we're gonna go over to Carnage. Carnage has got his spear made. Carnage issue number 10. Man, this guy's been on a sick freaking journey with Cassidy chasing his ass down and trying to go ahead and you know I don't know. It's weird how this is all leading up. And what I mean by weird is it almost seems like a setup. Like Carnage was leading Cassidy on this path, even though he's been like mentoring this other guy that's a sick little perv in his own way, and it's just awesome. So don't stop doing it. Carnage number 10 coming out tomorrow. Moving off of Carnage, we're going to talk about more Spider-Man. That's why Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 5 almost made it in my top list. This story from Taboo is just freaking awesome. If you haven't jumped into the story yet, just wait for the trade. Awesome story. Whenever Taboo does anything, it tends to be on like a spiritual realm. So just brace yourself for that. And it always tends to be kind of a psychedelic trip. So it works for me. Moving out from that Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 5 of 5, we're going to talk about a all favorite to all kids, which is Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Deadly Double Trouble. Yeah, Double Trouble, no Deadly. Issue number 4 of 4. If you're a kid or a kid of heart, you're going to dig this story. This was the second volume. I read them both. It's cool. It's kind of a cool way to clean your palate. And as I went to this new crepe place, the kids that were there, I asked, "Are you guys always here?" They said yes. I'm gonna try to cruise over there next week after I get to read my book, and I'm gonna throw the story at them. So that's what I'm saying is it works on all levels. You want to read something kind of cool, something light. I'm saying Double Trouble. That's what I'm saying. Then you can head out to a kid, anywhere from like I don't know 5 on up. They're gonna love it. All right, so that's why it is high on my. I read them all the time. These kids' adventures are awesome. Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Double Trouble, issue number 4 of 4. Moving out from there, this was almost my Blue Light special, which was Strange Academy, issue number 4. Strange Academy, man, it just keeps getting better. And as I'm knowing that they're going to end up only doing 6 issues and there's going to be this hiatus, and who knows what's going to happen after that because of the development and all this. It's killing me. Why? I don't want it to go away. But hey, Strange Academy issue number 4 is coming out tomorrow, so that's way high on my list. Cruising out from Strange Academy issue number 4, we're going to talk about a little bit of Thor 31. It's been an all right series. It's been in and out of like some high end, events going on, and then stuff. It's like, wait, what are we doing? So it's been interesting, if nothing else. And the fact that it keeps bouncing back from writers and its interpretation of where they're going with the story has been interesting, if nothing else. So that's why Thor issue number 31 is pretty high up there for me. We're going to move out from Marvel. Told you it was a long list. We're going to cruise over to Boom. Quite shorter. We're going to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 3. This is volume 2. What I really love about this series is these guys just fell right into this like they knew each other forever. I mean, from issue number 1, you already get the feeling that they've been through hell, which they have on the first volume. But the fact that they have these war veteran relationships is freaking awesome. So by the time they get to issue number 3 and they're just cracking these jokes and you see how it works with the different characters and it's a fun adventure, and I'm glad that they keep doing this. So it's pretty high on my list. It just, like I said, it's probably about 4 up there. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 3, tomorrow. Pretty high up there. Moving out from there, we're going to talk about Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 4. I love this love story. Love story that shouldn't be, a love story that just would not normally exist in a normal situation. It's beautiful. And that's why I think I love the story so much. So I'm gonna keep reading it. I think it's only 6 issue mini, so it is a fat book. So it's cool reading. It's a little expensive, but it's all worth it. So we're gonna talk about now from Boom to Dark Horse. We move Blue Book, issue number 1 by James Tynion. This is seemed like a segue from what he was doing at Department of Truth to this. It seemed like that's what he was setting up the whole time. I'm looking forward to this. I want to see what he decides to go ahead and choose to write about, and how deep in the level he goes down this rabbit hole. So that's why Blue Book issue number 1 is pretty high on my most anticipated reads. However, Dead Mall issue number 404. This has been one sick adventure that I've been digging. The fact that these creatures are like stalking people that cruise inside these malls, and it's freaking awesome. And I'm kind of curious if one of these kids is going to turn into it. So I want to see what happens. That's why it's only 4 of 4, and it's high on my anticipated reads. Moving on from Dark Horse, we're going to cruise over to Scout. Scout brings us. I'm a huge Kaplan fan, so we get Forever Forward issue 5 of 5. This finishes it out here. I like the concept of being able to have to constantly go forward to move back. Having to gain the technology in the future to be able to go back in the past, but every time you hop forward, yeah, it's not a place you want to be. I'm just looking forward. Does he? He left the message for himself. I'm just curious if it wasn't AI fucking with him. Just saying. So that's why it's pretty high on my most anticipated reads, and that is Forever Forward out of Scout, issue 5 of 5. Now moving over to Image Comics. This is the last publisher we're going to speak of. We're going to talk about Plush, issue number 4. This is, God, it's sick and awesome. When the chick in issue number 3 took off her hat, and I'm just saying, I think words did come out, right? So that's why Plush issue number 4 is really high on my anticipated reads. But we're going to cruise over to Local Man issue number 1. This is another one of Tony Fleek's writing, and he's actually doing a signing event. I'm working kind of down the street from him. I'm going to try to make it over there. Um, I hope he's lifted the restraining order against me. I've been stalking him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm hoping I can get over there, and Local Man does tie into some of the old Image storylines that I used to read, and I know a little bit about the storyline, and it seems so freaking awesome and odd and unique. So that's why Local Man is pretty high. Issue number 1 on my list. Philadelphia, issue number 28 comes out tomorrow. And damn, Ronnie Barnes, you just keep killing it. From the first time that I came across the story to the time that I'm still reading it now, how this world has developed and how large it's become just blows my mind. And I enjoy every issue that you put out, Rodney. Just keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. However, all that being stated, all that being listed, the number 1, and what you all have been waiting for is, that's right, the Blue Light Special coming out of Image. We're going to talk about Junkyard Joe. This book is just truly wonderful. Geiger was a great story. This offshoot, this successive story coming out from it is magnificent. Truly. This story needs to be read by anybody that needs to be able to have a good book to truly represent what we truly love about comics: the art, the story, the presentation, the joys, the cries, the understanding of what a point of view, a perception that we may never have, and the fact that the vocabulary and the articulation and the presentation of which is just amazing, truly. And that's why Junkyard Joe, issue number 5, is my Blue Light Special. And that's it for me. Thank you all for coming. You take care. You know it is Entropy. Take care.